Tesla zooms past $700 billion of market value after nearly hitting 500,000 deliveries in 2020. They missed it by what? 450 cars, I believe, to say exact. They moved 499,550 deliveries in 2020. Elon Musk exceeds his production target. You know, he fell short briefly. So proud of the Tesla team for achieving the major milestone. Musk tweeted, at the start of Tesla, I thought we had optimistically a 10% chance of surviving at all. Tesla stock prices soared by more than 740% in 2020. A ton of stuff is being said about Tesla right now. We know this progress, but I want to go to the Michael Burry tweet. Michael Burry of The Big Short confirms he's shorting Tesla. Back in September, Burry tweeted about Tesla's lofty valuation and said the company relies on regulatory credit sales rather than auto sales to turn a profit. In December, Burry confirmed on Twitter that he is also putting his money where his mouth is. So, on Twitter, at Elon Musk, yes, I'm short Tesla, but some free advice for a good guy. Seriously, this is he's saying to Elon. Issue 25 to 50% of your shares at the current ridiculous price. That's not delusion. You'd be cementing permanence and untold optionality. If there are buyers, sell that Tesla souffle. Burry tweeted Tuesday night. The tweet was deleted since Musk's warnings. The souffle mention was a reference to a warning Musk issued this week to Tesla employees that Tesla's stock price will immediately get crushed like a souffle under a sledgehammer if Tesla doesn't reach the profitability Wall Street has already priced into the stock. And then Musk famously tweeted that Tesla stock price is too high, in my honest opinion, back in May of 1st. Tesla stock price has roughly quadrupled 7 months since that warning written in December. So what's going on over here with Tesla?
It's going to crash this year. There's no way it won't. I mean, he is the flavor of the month. Anything you do about Elon Musk right now is a big story.
Yeah.
You know, okay, he thought the company had a chance of going under. And now it's worth $700 billion. By the way, it went up 5% yesterday. So what's that? You're thinking that's no big deal. That's $35 billion that it just went up yesterday. This is the Christian Bale character we're talking about in the Big Short, right?
Yes, exactly.
This guy knows what's up.
Oh, he knows what
Oh my
he knows
God.
what he's talking
I mean,
about.
this guy's a doctor. He's a genius. I like Elon Musk. I like him as a pop culture character.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the most genius minds that we've ever created on this planet. What he's doing with SpaceX, what he's doing with the Boring Company, drilling these huge holes in big cities and getting rid of traffic. But this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have a finance degree to realize this is quicksand. This is going to and here's the other thing. What if it did dissipate in value by 50%? Wouldn't that still be a win for a guy who thought his company was going to go under if it was only worth $350 billion?
Are you speculating, or are you saying this year they could drop 50%?
I'm saying it very well could happen, especially with a Democratic House of Representatives, president. Who knows where we're going to be after today, barring the results of Georgia. But this is just fairy dust. This is crazy. You throw out these numbers, they're not even real. He's a pop culture character, larger than life, a genius. Yeah. But this doesn't make sense for Tesla. No way can they sustain this type of value.
Yeah, I'm seeing these. I mean, we've talked about Elon Musk basically this entire year. I mean, nobody's had he was the #1 business person of the year for 2020, according to Fortune magazine. His fortune has literally gone from what, 30 billion to over 100.
He's the second richest man in the world.
He's gone
right
from
now.
like not even in the top 20 or barely in the top 20 to #1.
Yep.
But just a couple things, you know. You ever seen like the movie The Big Lebowski?
Yes.
When they're like, I don't think you can do this, Big Lebowski. You're a loser, Lebowski, and he's like, that's like your opinion, man. So that's kind of where I'm at with Tom over here. I'm like, that's just like your opinion, man. Like that's just the first thing that came to mind. So, total G. I mean, let's just look at the numbers, unless I'm interpreting this wrong. And speaking of like your opinion, man, the guy Michael Burry. I mean, he's got a pretty credible opinion, but again, one opinion. There's a lot of people saying that you should short Tesla, but the people who are riding the wave are obviously making money. But here's the number I'm looking at. They said that their production target was 500,000 vehicles, and they hit that number. They said they were off by a couple hundred cars, but sometimes they're slightly conservative with their numbers, so the numbers could vary.
Elon's got 300 in his garage to get that number up.
But like, at this point, how do you bet against Elon Musk with everything that he's doing? I remember we had in one of the first podcasts, Pat, do you remember this? We said, And this is when Elon Musk, man, was like barely in the top 20 billionaires. I mean, he wasn't like where he is right now. It's been a, amazing run he's had this year. And we said, who would you bet on? Who's the number one stock?
Elon or Bezos,
And Elon. And I was like, no, I'm going with Bezos. He's from Miami guy. But at this point, how do you bet against Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Like you said, he's a pop culture icon. But yeah, I agree with you on that. But he's also a freaking genius, and he's delivering.
Well, let me ask you this. If you're watching this right now, thumbs up. If Tesla stock goes up, this could actually be a lot of thumbs down.
Mm-hmm.
Thumbs down if you think Tesla stock could go down, okay, in 2021. Will it go up or will it go down? Here's a couple things to be thinking about. You mentioned Biden, okay? You mentioned it's going to be a Democratic administration, et cetera, et cetera. Does the left lean pro-gas or does the left lean pro-electric car?
For sure, green.
Yeah. So perfect. So that benefits a Tesla, right?
Of course.
Number two, we had Tom on last week when we were talking about GM, talking about the fact that, hey, everything about now is electric. He showed the website. He showed all this stuff and, added there, I don't know what the number was, some 20 million cars that they sold. A small, minuscule percentage was what? Electric. But they said by 2025, all of Cadillac's going to be what? Electric. And then by 2030, they're pretty much making Cadillac an all 100% electric car. That's crazy for General Motors to be deciding to do something like that, right? Okay. What advantage does he have? Here's the advantage that he has. What's Zuck worth? God knows what the guy's worth.
What is 100 billion?
What is the chances of somebody being able to create the next Facebook to beat Facebook?
Zero.
Okay. I don't know if it's zero, but it's 0.00000. Closest thing to zero, which I'm with you where you're. Okay. So what is the chance of somebody building an electric car and competing? I don't think it's zero.
No.
But I think it's higher than, maybe say 5% that you can make something and compete. The automotive business, kind of like the bottling industry or like the soda business, like to compete with Coke and Pepsi, very difficult certain industries to get in and compete with, right? Okay. I think the advantage he has is he came and said, this is the future, and he took the lead, and he indirectly, with all the different charging places he has nationwide and different places in Europe, the guy's got a semi-monopoly going on where you have to all leads lead to Tesla. Is it battery? Is it equipment? Is it charge? Somehow, some way, you got to go through Tesla. Does that mean this thing's going to grow the way it's growing right now? I don't know. Here's the other thing I will add with how he is. Last week we talked about it, Tom, where Tim Cook announced his car. Apple stock goes up $103 billion in one day just because he dropped the word car in there, right? I mean,
iCar?
The iCar. So I think the guy's a visionary. I think the guy's killed it this year. I have no idea how it's going to be in 2021. But I think everything is on his side, including a Biden administration would be on his side.
Yes.
Let me follow up with a question to you because I know you're kind of on the short side of things. Are we talking about 2021 or are we talking for the next decade as an example? Because if it's 2021,
it's a great question.
I can see it, going down. Over the next 10 years, I'm a huge believer in electric cars and Tesla and everything that even you said GM is doing. Clearly, we're on the path to that. Clearly. So if it's 1 year, you may be right, but 10 years.
The bar's been raised to such a level where what if it did go down 20 or 30%? Does that mean he's not a success? He's still a huge success. That's the thing. But he will be judged on this stock price. I secretly don't think that he wants the stock price this high. What's it to benefit him? There's a couple other factors. Number one, production. How many of these cars can you legitimately produce per year? They have to create more factories. 500,000 isn't that many cars. And they pushed it to the limit with a huge fourth quarter to get to that number. Apple's coming into the game. So is China. China has 3 electric car manufacturing companies. They have 1.3 billion people, which surprisingly, Tesla is moving strong into China. They're having success in China. But in my opinion, I think it all comes down to the battery. Because when you think about Apple, when you think about Apple getting into the computer game, they have their own systems, right? They had their own Word. They have their own business documents, their own software, which put them ahead of the game of IBM. If they can whoever controls this battery, because if you can get a universal battery that works with multiple different types of cars, you don't just have to have a Tesla. Tesla might be outpriced for some people, especially when the traditional car makers are getting into the game, and you get a lower model, which there already are some. But it's unfair to Elon Musk this stock price because it is going to go down, and people are going to think that he's a failure because of it.
I don't think they are, though. I don't think that's the conversation. I think the conversation right now is the following. He's built multiple companies and he's been successful. Okay. You know, there are certain people that for them, Kai says for them. Okay. There are certain, you get to a certain status in your life where you earn saint status. Saint status doesn't mean if you do like an O.J. Simpson 2,000 yards in a season, you know, you go out there and become the leading rusher. Then you do something that you did. I'm sorry, that saint status is gone forever, right? But he's in saint status today. He has to really screw up and do something stupid in his personal life to lose that.
You're giving him saint status.
He's not done it once. No, I'm sorry. There is no other Elon Musk in America, in the world today. There is no other Elon Musk in the world today.
You're taking Musk over Bezos, back to our first question?
Yeah, but 3 companies he's running right
buddy,
now.
I'm not putting anybody ahead of this guy here.
Really?
Nobody. Wow. I don't put anybody ahead of him. I tell you, I think Bezos is enjoying life more than Elon Musk is.
I think so.
I think Bezos is a happier individual than Musk is. Musk's brain is going a million miles an hour, and it's tough to kind of enjoy yourself at times, right? When you're going like that. But let me make my point to you. Here's basic math, okay? Their top line revenue in 2020, the last number they have is September. They don't have all of it. But in 2020, $1.7 billion. Their revenue is up 15.38%. Their revenue is up 15.38%. Let me say this one more time. Their revenue is only up 15.38% year over year. Say 20% they're up. Okay, by the way, they finished 2020 with their last report. The revenue is up only 20%, but the value is up 4x. Okay, let me say that one more time. Your revenue goes up 20%, but the value of the company is up 4 times.
So what's off that?
So all Michael Burry is saying is maybe it's not the time right now to long this thing. Maybe it's good to short it. Maybe you come back on a couple years from now. That's what he's saying. Michael's not a lightweight. So it's not like, you know, you take who Elon Musk is and you take a Michael Burry. Michael Burry's great at what he does. For him to be able to predict what was going to happen with real estate market, everybody said, this guy's out of his mind. All these big names looked at him and laughed at him. And he ended up being right, and they made a movie about him. And guess what? He's the one guy he hates doing interviews. He turns down all interviews. If you get an interview with Michael Burry, you got lucky. He doesn't like the camera. He doesn't like to talk. He doesn't like the voice to do a lot of interviews. Just kind of wants to be by himself in an office. So for him to say that, the data validates Michael Burry is right. The numbers prove Michael Burry is right for 2021.
Why did he delete the tweet, though?
Because he is a non-confrontational guy. He just doesn't want limelight. He doesn't want the spotlight, and it brought more than he thought. You don't know what has. Sometimes you're having a drink. Oh, you know, you're not going to tweet it. You should tweet it, and you tweet it. You don't know what happened. No one knows the context.
Before,
That's you and your buddy, right? Yes, exactly.
Yeah, he's a genius. When you watch that movie, it'd be interesting to see what else he jumped on in the last 12 or 13 years since the real estate market. But, I mean, this is kind of common sense. There's just no way it can sustain this, I don't think.
Math is not on Elon's side. Math is not on Elon's side, but social capital is on Elon's side. The world is banking on this guy, period. Kai.
So I think Elon Musk is one of the few, if not the only, to help create or co-found $4 billion companies. Yeah. You have PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX, and SolarCity.
That's like Daniel Day-Lewis.
I forgot he was involved in PayPal.
Yeah. That's
Kai, give me the company again. PayPal, Tesla,
SpaceX, and SolarCity.
Oh, SolarCity? Okay.
What's SolarCity?
Solar panels.
Energy company.
Oh, wow.
Solar.
Yeah. And he also has the Neuralink.
He's just getting started.
Company.
He's just getting started.
Yeah.
There's not another Elon Musk in the world today.
Can I ask a follow-up question? Why do you say that Bezos is enjoying life more than Musk at this point?
It's the worried genius. I don't see Bezos as a worried genius. I just see Bezos as an analytics guy that's extremely logical, Asperger's, no emotion. I see that as Bezos. Non-emotion.
Is that what he has?
That's where I would categorize, because Gates was categorized as that at one point.
Asperger's.
When you have Asperger's, you don't have emotions, so you're not offended, you're not upset, you're just very much so focused, right? But I think Bezos is enjoying life more than Musk is.
It's like our boy Ben Shapiro.
I think Musk is constantly overthinking about the next thing he wants to do.
You know what's funny is if you go back 20 years and you look at pictures of Bezos and Musk,
They look older than today.
They look better now.
Yeah.
Like they were balding, kind of
billions of
schleppy.
dollars and the right trainers
exactly.
and doctors will do that.
It'll do it.
There's one more factor with Bezos. He looks happier now because of his new girlfriend, Lauren Sanchez. I mean, he's a different man because she is a sexual beast. You could just tell.
Damn, Tom.
I was at her 30th birthday.
That Kangol doing it for you. All right.
She,
so you know Lauren
but
Sanchez.
You can just tell he's invigorated by her presence, and he's enjoying life. He's taking her all over the world. He seems like a happier guy.
That's what I know.
And maybe some other of these other things that he's accomplished in life have slid down the ladder a little bit more because why not enjoy the wealth? Like I was driving around Beverly Hills a few weeks ago with a friend of mine. He's like, "Hey, there's Bezos' house. Hey, there's another one." He has houses all over the place.
Everywhere.
I mean, you don't even know. I mean, why not enjoy it?
Yeah.
You know, at some point, and he's going to have another 20 years to enjoy it.
Who's this?
Bezos.
How old is he?
He's 56.
No, I think he's going to go. He's going to live a long time.
Yeah.
Remember you know what city has the highest average life expectancy in the world? What city?
In the world?
You can't say it.
I'm going to say it's a European country.
If you see me do the video, you can't say it.
I haven't seen anything.
Okay, so which city do you think
I'm going to say it's Zurich.
Okay, what are you going to say?
So random. Two things are popping in my mind. Somewhere in Greece with a Mediterranean diet or possibly someplace in Japan.
It's interesting how you say, because you went into people like, oh, I'm just going to have fun and I'm just going to, dance and drink and party. What city is the richest city in the world with the most?
Monaco?
Monaco. Yeah. Monaco's life expectancy is the highest in the world, 89 and a half years. Wow. The average person lives 89 and a half years.
Yeah, because they're all freaking billionaires
there. The point is when you have money, you get the best health care because that's what you do. So I think he's going to be living a long time.
But not if you eat those lobster rolls, bro. That'll set you back.
That lobster roll I can. Ridiculous. Yeah, so, okay. I mean, look, I'm banking on Elon. I think we're all saying we're banking on Elon long term. Tesla, I don't know. The math is not on their side in 2020.
It's funny, though. He's got 4 other fallback companies if this thing does take a dive at all. And he's got the tequila coming out.
Yeah. So question for Tom. How are you? Who's Lauren Sanchez? Why are you at her 30th birthday? And why do you know that she's a quote-unquote sexual beast?
I don't know any of that. That's just a hunch. Because
that's like your opinion, man.
My friend was dating her. So I was at her 30th birthday. Yeah, it was interesting.
Okay. Who is she?
Lauren Sanchez. That's Jeff Bezos'
No, I got that part, but who is she?
Former news anchor, Phoenix, LA, Extra. So yeah, good girl. I mean, cool, fun girl.
How did that happen with those two?
Bezos? They were neighbors. You know, they lived next to each other in Beverly
Hills.
He's
got 12 houses.
And she was married to the guy that ran CAA. No, William Morris. Yeah, the co-CEO of William Morris.
Well, shout out to Bezos' ex-wife, MacKenzie Scott.
She gives money away.
She's now worth $60 billion.
Yeah.
And she's given away billions and billions of billions during the pandemic. Yeah. It's like, so shout out to her. I have a lot of respect for that. Because, I mean, I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Like, the whole ex-wife thing, they do nothing sometimes. And they just kind of like live a life of luxury because they married some rich dude. And they go shopping and they kind of live that.
You just pissed off 3% of our audience.
Yeah. I'm sorry, ladies. But, they just kind of live that Rodeo Drive lifestyle. They go shopping. But to see this lady that's worth this much is giving away her money and giving back, I got a lot of respect.
Is there a strategy behind your compliment?
Yeah, MacKenzie Scott. How you
recruiting.
doing? How you doing, MacKenzie Scott? What's up?
Imagine Adam and MacKenzie Scott.
Adam
goes overnight from being worth $30 billion, and then he's giving us videos how to be a billionaire.
You know what? Pat, listen, you got to listen up here, buddy. This little podcast thing you got going on.
That's a business decision, isn't it?
Yeah. We're buying iTunes tomorrow. You can run a podcast. I'm going to buy a podcast. Yeah.
She gave away $6 billion, and she's still probably worth $8 billion more than when she started.
This might deviate from the topic a little bit, but it's going to stay. In Miami, speaking of this, I ask girls this question all
Are you
the
a billionaire?
Time. No, not that. I ask girls, I say, ladies, question for you. You have 2 options. Would you rather be with a wealthy dude? You never have to work again in your life. You're living the high life. You're living in a mansion. You're driving a, whatever car you want. You got all the money. Life is good. But this dude is busted. He's gross. He's fat. He's sloppy. He's bald. Like the whole thing, right? Or you're living with some dude. You're with a guy, total, stud, 6-pack, macho man, sexual, the whole thing, hot, but he's broke as shit and he lives with his parents. Who do you pick? And you see these girls' brains like, what? But the guy's got the money, but this guy, they can't compute a lot of times. And then finally, do you know what the most common response is?
That?
I'll just take the rich guy. Fuck it. Like, that's what they settle on.
Yeah,
But if you ask all the guys in this room, would you be with a wealthy, older, sloppy lady or a hot supermodel who's broke? What are you picking?
Both?
Both, this guy says. You're obviously picking the hot chick, right? Is it even a question? Tom might want the old lady. I don't know.
Who are you picking?
I'm taking the hot chick. Obviously.
But what's the processing?
The guys are obviously visual creatures, and we don't care what you like. How often do you actually care what the girl does for a living?
I disagree.
Really?
I disagree.
Who you're going with the old rich lady?
No, I disagree. What I disagree with you is a guy is mentally is an earner and provider.
Yes.
So to him, he takes the responsibility of being an earner and provider.
Correct.
And a woman, depending on what her priorities in her life are, looks at it as I need someone that gives me protection, safety, responsibility, security, and the guy that's good looking is probably going to be smashing 10 other girls at the same time as you. So you're sharing your guys. So so the guy, of course you're going to go with a 40 guy. You're going to go, because I'm going to go work. I'm going to go make my money. So I want to be with the hot girl. I don't need you to bring your business.
So you agree
to me,
with me?
Except I think you ought to consider a strategy with MacKenzie. I think for you.
Believe me, I've got some calls out to her. Okay.
Thank you.
MacKenzie, please return a call.
I think you got to consider something like that for you. So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.